Hey guys, Arowana newbie here. Today I decided to make a care video on silver arowanas because I noticed there weren't really a lot of care videos for silver arowanas or any type of arowana for that matter, so here it goes. A little bit of background information on him. I measured him before I put him in the tank. He's about 2.5, 2.6 inches. I did not get the weight of him, but he is in a 15 or 20 gallon high. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of those. And for people saying out there it's too small for him, no, it's a 15 or 20 gallon high. And as you can see, the width is twice his length, and the length is about 3 to 4 times his size, maybe even more. So he's got plenty of adequate swimming room. But tank size, you want a tank that has more width and depth than height. You can put him in a tank that has more height than width and depth, but it's better for them to stretch out and have more turning room because they don't really go up and down too much. A tank like this would be better if you have like an angelfish, but to be honest, this tank was what I wanted because I knew I wanted an arowana, but I'm also planning on adding a bottom feeder or a bottom or a midi swimmer, so something like maybe like an Oscar or a tiger shovel-nosed shark. But otherwise, if you plan on going solo, just an arowana by himself, you want a tank that's more width and depth. But you know, it's all about what you prefer, really. So, and that brings me to my next point: substrate, decor, and plants. You really don't need anything on the bottom or plants. It's just I plan on getting like a shovel nose or a clown loach or an Oscar or something. So I wanted something to provide hiding and like a little more security. But if you want, just in general, you can put in substrate, decor, and plants, just, you know, to make the tank look good, or even go with sand and planted tank just to make it look realistic, or make it look like the Amazon, you know, have plants floating on top and stuff, just make it look cool. I mean, there's so many people on YouTube who just have a plain tank of their arowana, their heater, their filter, and a blank bottom, and it's just kind of boring to look at. So just make your tank original, make your videos original. That brings me to a more important issue, is the heating and lighting. These fish can vary where they come from, guys. They can come from Asia, they can come from Africa, South America, Australia. But the one thing that all those places have in common is that they have very warm water, guys. So depending on what type of tank you have, I have a 50 watt for this 15 or 20 gallon high, and it keeps it right around 77, 78 degrees, maybe a little higher, maybe 79 or 80, but it keeps it in that temperature so that he is comfortable enough to be active, but not so hot that it's causing respiratory problems. And for filtration, you are going to want very good filtration. These fish are very messy, and like all predatory fish, if you give them live food, or if you give them bloodworms or krill shrimp or beef heart, there is always going to be that factor of, what if they just rip it up? And if you don't really have a tank mate or a plecostomus down at the bottom to catch anything that they don't get, that's just going to sit at the bottom and destroy your water quality. So, I mean, have good filters. I currently have 2 filters going. I have an internal Arowana filter that's just kind of small, sitting in the corner, but it helps filter. It's not the main filter, but it helps. And then I got an over-the-top filter. It's a Marineland Penguin 100. If you've got an over-the-top filter, you'll notice that your over-the-top filter is going to have these grooves in it. Sorry, mine's kind of dirty, but you'll notice it has these grooves in it. And you're going to want those open all the way because they are very messy fish. I mean, the only downside is you will have to change the filter more often, but they are very messy fish. And my third point, hang in with me guys, I'm almost done here. Lighting in the top. Lighting, that's optional. I mean, if you want to see your fish at nighttime, go ahead, put on lighting. But make sure your lighting's only on 8 to 10 hours of the day, because it can increase algae bloom and can create other problems. But put them kind of in a place where they can get some natural sunlight too. Not a lot where it creates algae bloom. Like, give them a nice healthy mix. But probably the most important issue of this section is get a hard top, guys. Arowanas are top swimmers, and in the wild, recorded by man, they have been known to jump 6 feet in the air for prey on branches. So make sure you have a nice, strong glass top, preferably. You can add plastic, but glass top preferably on top, so that they can't jump out, because there's probably nothing more disappointing than spending 30 to, I got mine for 30 bucks, but 30 bucks at the minimum of a dead fish on your floor because it jumped out because you didn't have it protected. But, yeah, just my final point, it's kind of more of a disclaimer note. Cycle the tank first, guys. These fish are very sensitive to nitrates, and ammonia. So I would recommend getting 2 chemicals. Sorry if you can't see it really well. It's Quick Start. I'm trying to angle it here. It's Quick Start, which allows the instant addition of fish, and it makes like tap water safe, and it starts the aquarium cycle. And then here I've got Stress Coat, which basically it adds aloe vera, which makes the fish slimy and healthy, makes its skin and its fins feel slimy and normal, and it also makes the tap water safe. And so I cycled mine for 3 days, but if it's better to cycle it for a week. And if you really want your nitrates and ammonia down perfectly, cycle it for a month or 2, guys. Put some really hardy fish in there, and even goldfish or something starter fish to get the ammonia levels down and the nitrates cycled, so that when your arowana comes in, it's ready to go and it's got a nice tank that's already cycled. And when you're doing, another disclaimer note, when you're doing water changes, it depends on how much. Only take out 5 to 10% of your water a week, guys, because if I take out about that much water, the arowana might have a slight stress. But if you're taking out half the water, guys, the arowana does not do too good to change, and you can potentially kill him. And a very, very important factor, know what you're getting into, guys. This arowana, this cute little arowana right here, well, maybe not cute, but this little arowana right here, that's 2.5 inches, is going to be 3 to 4 feet. That's about the size of this 90 right here, which my pixie frog is in. But he will grow big, guys. So just know what you're getting into. But I hope this care video helped. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, guys.